that a lot of people that are trying to be successful in life, the reason why they're not getting to the next level is because of their inability to self-assess, right? You have to have the ability to self-assess, you know, what you're doing, where you are, and if you improved, right? Because, like, I'm going to be honest, how many people, let's just, because we're very transparent on these diamond calls, and I know, Deirdre, you're brand new, so don't think a lot of this will apply to you. Out of a show of hands, right, how many people on here are of the same rank or less and income pretty much the same from 1 year ago to today? Raise your hands. I have everybody's hand up. Yeah, everybody.
I guess, probably.
Except who? Kristen Odell. So that is on here except Kristen. That's everybody. That's everybody.
And Deirdre.
And Deirdre just hit diamond. So the thing is that you need to be able to step out, take emotion out of it. You need to step outside, and you need to be able to look at yourself, and you need to be able to have the ability to self-assess. And something I listened to recently to share with you guys, and some of you guys may want to write this down, that if you realize if you want more, I know Jim Rohn says if you want more, you need to become more. But if you want more, you need to upgrade your performance, right? You need to be working differently. You need to be upgrading your performance. And with that, I have 3 things that go with that I want to share with you guys. And then I'm going to talk about myself personally, how I self-assessed and share with you guys. And then, you know, and it's kind of hard, and you have to be a little vulnerable. And I'm going to be very honest, you know, with me. But I know that if I want to get to another level, if I want to strive to hit 15-star diamond, what I am doing now at my rank is not going to get me there. And I'll tell you right now, guys, by the show of hands, what you are all doing is not going to get you to the next level if you don't upgrade your performance. And it comes with 3 things. Number 1 is work on your work, meaning you need to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, when you're doing it. You need to work on working at a different level. You need to be upgrading what you're doing each and every day. You need to be increasing, you know, not always increasing your work to be busier, but being smarter to change what you're doing. The second is that you need to be able to critique your work. You got to be able to critique yourself. You got to be your harshest critic, right? You got to be able to say that, you know what, I'm doing this, it's not working. And I'm not doing that, so I probably should be doing it. Because right now, every one of you, including myself, what you're doing is not getting, we're all the same. We're on the same spot, you know, so you have to be able to critique what you're doing, and you need to upgrade it. And the last is you need to reflect on your work. Meaning you need to self-assess and maybe realize, you know what, I got to reflect, you know, and I'm going to speak for almost everybody on here. My income hasn't grown, and I'm the same rank. You know what? And when people say, oh, but my downline, my team is growing, my organization's growing. You know, I hear that from different teams. I hear from some people here. That's great, but your people that you bring it on aren't going anywhere. So you're not doing what you need to do to get to the next level. So let me self-assess myself, guys. I'll be honest. This past year, my income hasn't really changed. Last summit, I was 6-star. I made lifetime 8-star the past year. I'm not sitting at 8-star right now. I'm sitting at 5-star. I'll tell you that. And when I look back last year and not hitting elite this year, it came down to a bunch of things. I hit Success Club every month, but I wasn't bringing on the right people. I wasn't bringing on the right challengers. I wasn't attracting the right people. I also was not attracting any more people on my personal page anymore. So then I went to my like page and went through the Jesse Regan training, and I did it, but I didn't fully use it to the potential I probably should have with learning how to do ads. And why did I realize I need to do this, and I'm realizing it now, is because if I'm not bringing on the right challengers, I wasn't converting coaches, because my signups last year, guys, the amount of coaches I signed up last year compared to 14 and 15 stunk. Like less than half of what I used to sign up the years before. So I wasn't converting coaches. I wasn't bringing on people that were great in challenge groups. I wasn't attracting people anymore on my personal page. I transitioned over to my like page, and now I'm back on my personal page again because I'm still in transition. But I realized that, David, your ass is not going to get to 10-star and 15-star unless you're willing to change, and you're willing to change what you're doing and improve your performance. I got to know what I'm doing, and what I'm doing that's wrong. I got to know how I'm doing it and realize what I was doing the past year is wrong. So if we continue to have the inability to self-assess, and you keep continuing to do what you do every day because you think you just need to, you're going to get that one coach and you're going to get there. If you're not investing and upgrading yourself, then you're going to be in the same place 1 year from now again. And why am I thinking this is so important, guys? Because I'll be honest, if I look at our team organizational wide with the almost 2,000 people, beside Deirdre, we have not brought on many new diamonds into this team the past 12 months. And I know network-wide, it's a transition. Network-wide, this is a transition going on for a lot of people. So I feel like I told Kristen, I feel like I'm back when I said in 2013 in August, and our team was 50 people, and I said, you know what? I got to take it to another level of ownership, and we have to start something, or else my business isn't going to grow, and our team's not going to grow. And whatever I did now, I feel like I'm at that point again. I need to now take more ownership. I need to invest in myself more. I'm going to see Eric Thomas this weekend, all day in New York City on Saturday to invest in my mind, invest in business and leadership. Going to Jeff Hill the weekend after that. I'm trying to connect with 15 Star Diamonds as friends and mentors. What are they doing? What am I not doing? Where can I improve? How can I improve on my messaging? How can I improve on my social media? I'm not being vulnerable enough. I'm making life out like it's all dandy. Yes, I'm motivated. I'm doing a workout. Like, fuck no. Excuse my language. I gotta talk about my struggles more, because when I do, people message me more. I gotta change the way I approach my social media. You know, it's at all different levels. So I'm here to tell you guys, you really need to, when you finish this call in the next 24, 36 hours, you need to work on your work. See what you're doing, how you're doing it, when you're doing it. You need to critique your work and be your harshest critic, and you need to reflect and realize, where do I need to change? So overall, you upgrade your performance. So for me, I failed a lot last year. I did not bring on good people. I didn't sponsor enough. I need to change the way I'm doing many different things. And I realize otherwise I'll be in the same place. So I want you guys to really realize that what you're doing right now is not going to get you to where you want to go. It's not. So you have to really look in the mirror and say, what do I need to do? Not saying you need to do more. You need to be doing it better. That's the key. So I'd love to go around the horn, because the most of you are in the same place. So I know it's short notice, but what are your failures? What do you if you were to self-assess the past year, where did you fail? And call it as it is. I mean, it's part of life. It's part of growing. And I'm not concerned, because it's a transition phase, and I feel like we can kill it in 2017, but we all have to have the ability to self-assess, because when you have the inability to self-assess, you hit that glass ceiling because you think, I should get to the next level. I should get to the next level. No, you shouldn't, because you haven't owned where you are. And in order to own where you are, you have to self-assess what you're doing and realizing, you know what? I need to improve on A, B, and C. So who wants to start? Like, guys, just be honest. Self-assess yourself quickly. Where do you need to improve? Go ahead, Gina.
I feel like for myself, I was attracting, I'm in a different place now than I was a year ago, growth, which is a good thing. So I'm looking back at the people I was attracting before were not the right people, so that we're cleaning house, right? So it's making sense. It's taking care of itself. So now I need to do a better job of really assessing who I bring in. I think before I was acting out of desperation and taking just anybody. And I've had this conversation with several people. I've been doing what you're saying, is reassessing. And I think now I have to be more clear. Actually, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to reassess who my avatar is. Who do I really want? Who do I want to be even in my groups? Not even coaching. Who do I know is going to really trust me, believe in the process, show up every day and engage? I want to run a tighter ship with my challengers and not just make it loosey-goosey. Who wants to join me? Oh yeah, all is in. I want to make them qualify. I want to be able to go through them and say, okay, and have them do that scorecard. I created a scorecard at one point about, okay, or an agreement card to say, here's all the things that you need to come with. And really, I think just run a tighter ship and be more selective and clear in my mind as to who do I want to work with. Who do I believe is going to trust the process? Who is going to listen to me when I say, we only do this program, we don't do 5 other exercises that day because you don't believe 30 minutes works. Like, I want to get their buy-in up front. I want them to know they're going to show up every day. I don't care if you have 2 minutes, do it on your phone and engage and click in and check in. It's your accountability. So I think for me, I need to stand tall about what I want. I need to attract that, and I have to be more selective in who I bring on board, because then all of that, it's like a domino effect. If I bring a stronger challenger or someone who's more committed, who's more passionate, who's going to show up every day, those are starting to look like coach, potential. So I think I just, need to reshift and be more critical or selective.
I love that. And something that just, when you made me think of it, is Gary Vaynerchuk was kind of saying that he made more money this past year, but he's making less revenue because he's investing more into the company. Mm-hmm. And it made me think, guys, like talking to, like just seeing, another male, Pat Reelman, Jimmy Hayes Nelson, 15-star. They're at Eric Worre events. They're going multiple times a year. They're going to other events. They're improving their performance because they're gaining new skills to build, And when I see that, I'm like, I wish I wasn't working full-time because I'd be going to that much more. But if there's an opportunity for me to improve as a leader, to learn more, because it's all what you think between these 2 years and how you operate, and I need to invest maybe a few $100 instead of it going into a savings account, invest back into myself. Hence, this weekend, getting the VIP ticket to be with Eric Thomas and just hear it. So you just made me think you're changing your avatar, what you're going to do better, to be with those people. And I'm thinking also, you have to be willing to improve. You have to be willing to put money back into yourself, improve yourself. Who wants to go next? Anybody? Guys, I'm gonna, as you're all diamonds, so if you don't, I'm just gonna call on you.
Michelle's raising
I'll go.
Michelle, go ahead.
I'm fading fast, not because I'm tired. I've been having migraines every night this week, and I don't know what's wrong with me. So I'm not sitting here massaging myself for nothing.
You need to get to the doctor. Maybe you have a sinus infection.
Something. It's only when I get home, and it literally starts here and pulsates all the way down, to my feet. It's ridiculous. I don't know what the hell's the matter with me. But anyway, literally I could probably be here for an hour to 2 to 3 hours talking about the things that I need to improve on. I mean, I have a running list for myself. I'm not being consistent with my own business. So how can I expect to be a model for my team? And I know I'm not. I'm letting everything that I used to let get in the way of all of this and being successful with the business. And that's why I'm still where I am. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had Diamond for, since 2014, and I haven't moved. I mean, I got 1-star and I'm a lifetime 1-star, but my coaches aren't moving, but I can't expect them to move and improve themselves if I'm still kind of stagnant with where I am. And I think I know I need to have a clearer vision for what I need in order to get where I want to be. I know I need to invest in myself more, not only with my workouts and nutrition, but in my PD. I constantly feel like I'm in between my reading because I can't find that one thing that I'm trying to connect with. And I know it kind of all goes back to my vision and where I want, where I see myself and where I want to be. So I know I need, it all stems from there. But it's like a domino effect, because if I'm not, I have the Jesse Regan training. I'm almost finished with module 2. I know that module 3 is the hard, heavy hitter with testing the ads and stuff, but I've been inconsistent with making sure that I'm getting up earlier in the morning and getting the training done. I mean, I had it down pat at the beginning of the school year, and then everything, I let other things get in the way. And I don't want to use the excuse of, now I'm busier at work, which I am, but it's not an excuse, because this is important to me too. So I 100% completely transparent, know everything that I'm doing wrong, but now I need to say, all right, if I'm doing this stuff wrong and I'm not working, how can I correct and fix it to make myself successful? So, like I said, there's tons more. PD, making sure that I'm getting my time in the morning. I think I need to re-listen to Miracle Morning again and kind of just reevaluate everything for me with the business, everything.
No, that's great. Michelle, you should write it all You should write all of it down and attack it that way. And guys, I know I mentioned 12-week year, really get you disciplined. And yeah, no, it's great. I mean, on another thing, and I don't like to keep interjecting, but when I think of good things, they have a call on the wall now. They're starting it where they have a CEO call, and some of the top coaches will talk about the upper level, the way you need to think. And the one thing that struck with me is that he said, if you're at the level of, 5-star and higher, or you're a higher leader, or you're a star diamond rank, guys, you kind of know what your mindset needs to be. You don't maybe need the fuzzy, warm book like hoorah. You need to start investing in understanding business and things at a different level. And he recommended one book, and it really is about how to break out of all the noise on social media as a business person so that you stand out. And I'll give you guys the name of the book, and I'm listening to it. But the point being is, as you grow, you need to be doing books at a higher level, So it is called Content Inc.
Content.
No, it's Content.
Okay.
Content Inc. by Joe Paluzzi. Pulizzi. Content Inc. by Joe Paluzzi. But it just struck me, like the whole call was 40 minutes, but he's like, hey, you need to, as you get higher, you need to be operating differently. You need to be reading different books. You understand why coaches why they're quitting, why they're not staying on. Are you looking at your challenge groups and looking, instead of being a challenger and a new emerald, are you wondering why is there not engagement? Why am I not developing leaders? He goes, you have to be able to be thinking at a different level. You can't be thinking as a level as a coach or an emerald. You are now in a leadership rank, or on the wall, it's 5 stars or higher. So you have to be thinking what's going on. And so it's just something for you guys to think about. It all plays into self-assess, and you got to think at the level you're at. Who wants to go on? I muted everybody because it was background noise. So whoever wants to go next, just unmute your line.
I'll go next. It's Maria. Hello. Well, I've been doing a lot of self-assessing, since this afternoon. And I pretty much have gone from my diamond rank right down to being green again. And it's very disheartening. I'm noticing that I'm doing a lot of more busy work than real work. And you make that very clear to me when we have our calls and talks, Dave. So I pretty much decided that it's like the forest, when it burns and then it's starting to regrow. I think that's what's happening to me. My coaches are quitting, and I'm realizing, why is that happening? Well, it's happening because they're not seeing me grow. So how can they grow when they don't see me grow? So basically, you've heard this before. I still have a hard time getting organized, so I'm going to learn more organizational skills. And I have a couple of coaches who really do want to run with this. So I'm kind of happy that a lot of the coaches are quitting, because they are just discount coaches and they really weren't doing anything. And having a smaller team less overwhelms me, if that makes any sense to anybody. And I'm just going to start some team calls again, because I haven't been doing them in a very long time. And I think it's something that I need to do. I have fallen off on my posts, but I noticed that I do get a lot more engagement. People are private messaging me a lot more now. And following up is big. So my self-assessment is that I'm just going to learn more about what my weaknesses are, which I thought a lot about today, and re-evaluate where I want to go with this business, because, I don't know, do all of us really want to be 15-star diamonds? Is that a terrible question to ask? To me, that's very overwhelming. And at this point, no, I don't want to be a 15-star diamond, because I know I could never handle it. Right now, I'm working slow, and that's kind of like my pace right now. So that's my self-assessment. I'm going to work with what I have and move forward at the pace I'm comfortable at.
Maria, you know what? You made a good point though, because of course it would seem so, first off, you don't always, not everybody has to have a desire to go to 15-star diamond. That's the answer to that question. Of course you can ask it. And number two is, of course, it's going to seem overwhelming. It's kind of like right now, me thinking that to have 3 15-star diamond business centers like Melanie Mitchell, that seems crazy. I felt when I was where you were that getting to 5-star was so far impossible. So the thing comes down to is the reason that you feel that way, and the reason I felt that way, is because I haven't owned my shit at the level I was at. Mm-hmm. That's why it is. So of course, if you right now, for like, like for me to think to have 2 or 3 15-star diamond business centers, you know what? I haven't owned my stuff at 8-star level, so I don't deserve. And the other thing is, every one of you on here deserves to be exactly where you are in the business. Truth. Because once you start growing and you surround yourself with people that are equal or higher of rank or where they are with you, you realize they're executing at another level. And I used to fight that battle too, guys, because I used to think I was working so hard and I should be a solid diamond or a 5-star or an elite coach. And I got put in my place each time I finally got there and I was with those people or people of higher rank going, Jesus, I have some improvement to do on certain skills. So we are all where we are because that's where we all deserve to be. You are where you are because that's where you deserve to be. So Maria, I think those are great points. I wouldn't feel overwhelmed thinking 15-star diamond. It's just because you have to own the spot that you're on.
And it's levels.
It's totally levels. There's totally levels, and it's kind of like stages. It's like when we have kids, Mm-hmm. You buy diapers, and eventually they walk. There's like stages. There's levels. I really feel 2-star is like you get to one level. To get to 5-star, it causes more growth. To get to 10-star is like another level, and then 15-star is another level. Like in between 3 and 4-star, it's all the same. But I really think the way they kind of have the quarterly bonuses broken down, 2, 5, 10, 15, it's obvious the levels. It's very clear, obvious the difference in people. So who wants to go next?
I'll go.
No.
Am I, is it me? My turn?
Yeah, yep, I heard you, yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's in the middle of bedtime. I'll probably be interrupted like 8 times. Okay, one moment, Oliver. So, for me, I'm having a slump now because I'm home on maternity leave, and I don't multitask very well. I actually do most of my business when I'm at work. So for me to, have to be home all this time and try to like juggle all that's been hard for me these last 2 months, and I still have 1 more month on maternity leave, and I'm definitely, it was the first month I didn't make Success Club last month, and it's really disappointing for myself because that was like a non-negotiable for me, but it happened. So, I mean, for me, like, I'm not going to throw in the towel and be like, oh man, I have to start over at 1 again, but I just have to reevaluate and do better with time management. And for me, I've said it before, but it's organization and keeping my contacts more organized. I've been meaning to do a tool to help me with that. I haven't yet done that, so I'm sick of hearing myself say that, but I know what needs to be done. We just have to do it sometimes. I think a lot of us know what we need to do. We just haven't made the time for it. And just like in our fitness, where we tell our people that we're trying to recruit to lose weight and meet their goals, you make time for what's important to you, and you do that for your fitness, and we're going to do it for our businesses too. So unfortunately, the last 2 months, what was more important was my children. And so my business took a little bit of a backstand, but now that I'm starting to get into a groove, I'm going to make it'll become more important and more on the top of lists, and I'll try to fit things in. But these calls are great because it forces you to sit back and reevaluate, what exactly it is that we need to do. And even though we know it, it's nice to say it out loud because I think it puts it out there in front of you and makes you do it. So, I mean, that's where I'm at in my personal business. Yes, I've had a lot of growth. And if you look back a year's time, because I'm a newer diamond. So a year from now, I was probably just a coach. So yes, mine's grown. But if you look in the last, 4 or 5 months, my business has stalled. So, and partly that's just because of what's going on in my life. So, but that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm back to getting organized with my contacts and doing a little bit better with time management. So
no, I love it, guys. Really low, like from the big picture, this business is like can really I mean, I don't think there's anything out there like it. I mean, literally, you own your own business. We pay $15 a month, and what it can create for you in all aspects of your life. I don't think there's anything close. Sorry, there really isn't. From home to impact somebody's lives, not knocking other companies, but we're not selling some jewelry or something. Sorry, and of course it is. We are literally having people that have cried over their weight loss, their lives have been changed, and we're able to do that. And there's no better feeling than that, and create wealth for our family financially from home on our own time. Like, holy crap. I think too many people think that it's just some thing and not realize that it's a life-changing thing if you're willing to respect it and put in the work. So, who unmuted before? Who was going next? Teresa.
Okay. So I was writing down a couple of things, and one of the things that pops in my head is that I failed as a leader. It's something that I keep coming back to and I keep working on, but trying to lead my team, which is a very small team, and the crickets and stuff like that kind of tend to set me back and I pull away from it. And really what it's coming down to is my consistency and my time management. And that's just, and the organization. I mean, those are, the top things that are just a mess. I mean, I sat down to this call, I'm like, where's my notebook? I think it's upstairs on my dining room table where I left it because I moved my laptop up there because I was juggling things. So, I mean, right there, I mean, it's a problem, so, and I know that, and it's just kind of, it turns into a snowball effect. And then I kind of, once again, let myself get overwhelmed and I'm not getting anywhere. My team, I mean, I feel like I show up and I'm all the time and I'm honest with it. I'm trying to be more vulnerable as far as, like in my challenge group, like what my struggles are and how to overcome them and get them pumped up. And I think that's better, but I'm still having such a hard time getting the right people that commit, that will show up, will post some things and be engaged. And I'll get like one or two that'll do it for a little bit and then they fall off again. And, I'd be lying if I said it doesn't put a damper on my own engagement as well. It's like I keep coming back to it. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not seeing anyone else doing it. And I have to keep pulling back at myself. So it goes back to consistency, month after month, struggling with maybe like just being a cheerleader. I feel like I need to be rah, rah all the time. And I feel like I don't have it all the time. And how do I do that? I'm not.
Be honest.
I mean, it's really hard. I mean, and it's like, you sit down at the end of the day and you're beaten, like, okay, let me check in. And it's like, let me go through and build everybody up. And it's like, if there's only one or two of us doing that, like, it's kind of a tough thing. So, and then it's like, you want to get new people into that, but it's like, I don't want new people to see that. So I have to shake that up again. And I know it comes back to new blood and getting that new blood to stick with me. I mean, I had somebody come in, I was all excited. This was going to help secure my diamond status again. And a month later, she was gone. I'm like, I don't know. And I felt like I did what I could with her. We were going out on evening walks and talking about things, and even my husband's like, really? She just quit after you just spent all that time with her? I'm like, and there was nothing that I knew I could possibly say to her. I mean, I tried everything and I finally just left it as, we'll touch base after the holidays, and maybe you'll want to come back. I don't know what I could have done, and I know I hear other people saying that too with coaches quitting, and I don't know.
Teresa, do you ever team up with another coach to run challenge groups so you're not doing it alone?
I have in the past, and I could do that again. I think that my group is kind of getting to, it's a little bit smaller, and if I take out the people that don't participate, and I fall back with just not having the guts to put my foot down and say, you know what, you don't show up, you're not coming in. Even though you said you wanted in and you're a coach, you don't show up. Like, and what's the point of you being there? Because we all know that other people see that, and you see that there's 20 people in your group, but you really only have 7 consistent people. So I really could. I mean, if I sat down and really got firm with it and said, these are the rules. I mean, we go through them every month, and I reiterate it every week. Look, let's get in there, and I don't know. So yes, I could definitely do something like that. And I like it. We have, we're close knit. The ones that are in there, we're good, and I like that. But I know a lot of my stuff comes down to being consistent and managing my time better, and just really thinking about what I want my goals to be. Maria touched on something that I think about a lot too, is do I see myself as a 15 star? And the answer is, oh my God, no. I don't. Like, I'm barely holding on to diamond. So I that's where I see I have to own where I am right now before I can even think anything further.
Teresa, I think you brought up a lot of good points, but two things. One is that we all go, I think a lot of things you said, we all go through a lot of the same things in our groups and this and that. And that's when it's key to say, you know what, it's not them. What can I do to be better?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I need to do to shake this up? And what can I do to because we so often, I didn't hit Success Club last month because so-and-so didn't get the challenge pack like they said they did. No, you didn't talk to enough people to not have to worry about that person. Not saying you, but I'm saying in general, it always comes back to us. And one thing I want you to evaluate on, can I give you a constructive criticism?
Sure.
So again, this is totally constructive because I love you. When I think you need to critique what's going on with your conversion, because when you're on the cover photo that I see,
No,
like,
I'm talking about Kristen Smalls.
oh yeah, no, you're right. I'm talking about Kristen Smalls. You're right. Disregard, Teresa. I'm confusing you with somebody else. With Kristen.
He's tired.
I'm tired. So scratch that.
It's all good. Here, I was all ready. Come up with something else back.
And it would have been totally inaccurate because it's not you.
She would have been like, what?
What are you talking about? So that's that.
Teresa, and also the other thing is, like one of the things we always say is work with the willing. You can't make somebody do this.
Right.
They have to have it in them. They have to want to do it. You can do backflips for people and they still don't give a crap. So at the end of the day, if you're stressing over those people, you are wasting your energy. So anybody, those 7 that you're talking about that show you something, put all your energy into them.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you want to spend your time with. The other ones, you give the minimum, the bare minimum. And if they leave, they leave. It's not like you're going to miss them. You got to replace them with people. And honestly, it's a crapshoot. Yes, you do it by attracting people who are more like you and you work on that. But at the end of the day, if you recruit 5 new people, maybe only 1 is like the person that like you could identify with, or the person that you're like, oh, good, they're like into this, they're consistent. And the way that a person is as a challenger in a challenge group is a very good indication as how they're going to be as a coach later on. I've found that to be very true. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but you can see if somebody from the get-go is really good in your challenge group, like, wow, they post every day, they're engaged, they're going to be a good coach more times than not. If they fall off the wagon right off the bat in a challenge group, but then like sign up as a coach, picture in like 6 months from now, they'll be gone. Like, just already know it in your head. I mean, maybe some people will prove you wrong, but from my experience, it's their personality. They're either driven or they're not. So don't waste your time on those people who are not, because you're wasting your time and your energy.
And I just want to see them be driven to get results. I mean, like, just you signed up, let's do it, and it's amazing, and I know everybody sees this, it's like big goals to do things, and I don't know. And then I look at it as, what am I not doing to get them where they need to be? Am I not,
You got to improve you. You have to improve you. You have to improve you. We all have to improve ourselves.
We all do.
You have to be constantly growing with your PD, no matter what. You have to be growing. It's got to be a constant evolving thing. But cool. Who else? I know Karen hasn't spoke. Rachel, Kelly. Go ahead, Kelly.
All right, I'm losing my voice yet again, so here we are. I think for me, there was a little bit of a shift in my business, and I still really have to sit down and write down exactly what my new vision is, because I have to be honest with you, after Summit, I came home, I was like on a mission. I want to leave my job, and I was full speed ahead. And then what happened was I went to work and I started to see, and you can see now, I haven't been right since September. My health is starting to be affected because I'm the type of person where I'm so overly driven that I have to be 100% in everything. And I'm finding that physically, I can't be 100% a mother and working as a teacher full time. I do a lot of fundraising now with cancer. I have a lot of different things going on. And what I'm finding is, something is always suffering. It's either, my fitness is suffering where I'm gaining weight because I'm rushing through my workouts and I'm half in, half out because I'm using that time, when I read the Miracle Morning to do my invites and everything there. I was also meditating at the time to just kind of keep myself relaxed and just mentally strong and doing my PD in the morning. And I wake up 2 hours before I get in the shower. Every day I'm up at 4:05. I'm not really in bed until at least 10 o'clock every night. And I have a really hard time giving 100% to this business, although I love it and I want it. And I will, I'm sad that I have come to the point where I'm like slowing down a little bit. It doesn't mean that I will ever give up, I will ever quit, but it's really hard for me to try and find like where I fit now as a coach because I've had to slow down. I just sold a challenge pack today, so it's not like I'm not developing relationships and meeting new people. I am. It's just I'm spending a lot more time, like Gina said, not wasting time and being desperate. I'm really, really fostering relationships, and that is slowing me down. But I feel like in the long run, I'm happier because I'm doing it the way I can handle it and still having all these other aspects of my life. And, it's a lot slower than I'd like it to be, but physically I can handle it, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. Two things I can say with that. One is, if you're really not sure, you got to go back to your why. You got to know what your why is. And if your why is and you're content with this is what you want, then that's where you will stay because you're content with it, if that makes sense. You got to know what your why is, And the second thing is, I can tell you this, there's people out there that are busier than me, that are blowing the business up more than me. And there's people out there that are busier than you, blowing the business up more than you because they're more efficient and their performance is better at the time that they have. So if you want to have more with doing it less, then you need to improve you.
Right. And what I think it comes down to is I'm very emotionally driven. And I've said this before, I'm a really good manager, but I'm not a good leader. And, a couple of months ago, I was taking that leadership. Okay, all my PD needs to be on leadership. And then I kind of strayed from that. So maybe that's something that I need to get back to because you're right. I'm emotionally driven and I have to be more of, a business owner. Even if it is slower, I just have to kind of tweak my thought process a little bit.
No, your business can absolutely grow with the time that you put into it, Kelly, because you're still getting challengers and whatnot, but it won't change unless you change as a person, meaning you grow. Because sometimes, guys, it's not about doing more. It's about being better at what you're doing. Kind of like I'm saying, improving your performance, Something as simple as the other day spending an hour and promoting 27 posts on my like page to run for 24 hours once a day over the next month so the people on my like page see it, so I know they like it. And when they like it, I friend request them, and then I'm starting new conversations with new people. But that hour could have been spent doing the same old things and checking in with groups and following up. But no, I spent an hour in Power Editor because I learned it, because I increased the skill to develop cold leads, to start relationships, to generate new people. So that's the point. Like, I would have never knew about that unless I went through the training because I invested in me. So if you're doing less time, totally cool. But the time you have, if you want more, then you have to be willing to invest in yourself to increase your skills. That makes sense. So that's just.
Kelly, you're not emotionally driven at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
How about Rachel?
Rachel.
Rachel, we haven't seen you
Hey
in so
guys, I
long.
know I've been like, that's the one thing I feel like I listen to the recordings and I'm not on live because I'm usually tired and in bed by now. But um, for me, I was just telling Charisse, I'm just feeling like I'm at a point where I'm really frustrated. And I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but my frustration is, I've been at this for 2.5 years. I've been at Diamond for like 1.5 years, and I don't feel like I'm growing, which is very frustrating for me. And I feel like what everyone said, and I like so appreciate the honesty because I relate to like what everyone was saying, and what Kelly just said about being emotionally driven. Like I identify with that a lot because I'm such like a feeling person. I'm so driven by my feelings, and I've always been, and it's so hard. And because of that, it's hard for me to be consistent. But I feel like with coaching, I have been consistent. My dad passed away in July, and that was a real blow. And, I thought so much about what Dave has said before about like, life happens and you have to like, stick with your why and know what you want. And it was still like, I needed like a month to just kind of like, I still did my groups. I wasn't inviting as much. I was still working out. I did the 3-week yoga retreat because I needed something mellow. I'd previously been doing 22-minute hardcore, but Charisse was saying, like, because this month I invited like 100 people and I only had like 6 SC, and that to me, because I also have all of my coaches who are actually working, one just had a baby, one just had her father die. I feel like that, like just life happened to them and it slowed them down. And I don't have that many other people working on my team. So Charisse was saying like, well, yeah, that's great that you invited 100 this month, but what is happening now is a reflection of what you were doing 3 months ago. So you were taking that time to grieve, and now like you're not getting as much. Like, so what you're doing now will pay off in 3 months. And I get that.
I catch up now.
Yeah. And I get that. So I feel like my self-assessment is like, I want to be patient with myself, but at the same time, like, my husband lost his job recently too, and I've been the stay-at-home mom, and I've been telling him all along, like, I'm going to make enough money to bring you home at one point. And I'm like, I was not ready to bring you home. Like, we've been living off of savings. So I hate to say this, you guys, but I'm a salesperson. I'm money driven, and like, I can help people all the time for free, but I want this to be a business. And so for me, my likes page has not worked at all. What's worked for me is everything on my personal page. And it's because people refer me all the time. Like I just had someone buy Country Heat who doesn't know me at all, but I'm really close friends with her sister-in-law. And she's, my friend hasn't bought anything from me because she tried Shakeology once from another friend, didn't like it, doesn't like home workouts. And she was like, oh, my sister-in-law wants to try Shakeology. She like bought Shakeology and then bought a CP last night, like Country Heat. So I feel like I get a lot of referrals like that. And a lot of the people that sign on with me, I've met in person. So I'm the kind of person that I want to know someone and have that relationship. And I feel like I don't have a strong enough avatar. I mean, I really don't. I'm sort of bland. Like I'm very, like, I think I'm interesting, but I think I'm kind of vanilla in terms of like, I've studied what other like top coaches have. There's something about them that makes them unique. Like, and I feel like I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit older on the demographic of coaching. Like I'm at the older side, and like I'm a mom of a single daughter. Like I don't really have like anything. Like I look at my likes page, I'm stuck at 381 for the past 2 years. Like, I don't know. I feel like for me, it's all in my personal network. So for the likes page for me hasn't worked. So
Rachel, you need to change what you have to change what you're doing then. Right?
I mean, yeah, I'm giving you a million different things. This is why I didn't want to talk, because I have like so many things, and it's like I can give you like 10 other things too I probably could do. But I don't know. I don't have my avatar. Like I don't have enough of a following of random people. Like everything that I've ever done with Hitting Success Club or getting coaches has all been personal, people I know, and referrals.
Right. So you just
Rachel.
So you just hit the nail on the head. You just hit the nail on the head. You have to grow to the next level.
Right. I just don't think that this is where I struggle, because I read all the time. Like personal development is not, I walk every morning and listen to an hour of audio, and then I do my workout in the afternoon and I read on top of that. So I do a ton of like I read all of Gary Vee. I don't feel, kind of sick of like the same, like I look at other coaches and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't handle another picture, a selfie, like a sweaty selfie or a picture of someone with Shakeology. I've done it so much myself, and I feel like I look at Melanie and the other top coaches, I'm like, all right, there's got to be some other way to convey that we're transforming ourselves without the constant pictures of the shakes and the constant sweaty selfies. Because I honestly feel like after a while, it just becomes like more white noise. Like I don't mean, I love Shakeology. I love working out every day. I just don't know how many other ways I can make interesting social networking posts. I'm sort of like,
Rachel, you could share your vulnerability.
Yeah.
You don't share your vulnerability.
oh my God, I was so vulnerable when my dad passed away. And like, since then about like the grief process, like I definitely have been very vulnerable.
No, but I get that. But sharing it on a daily, like with Shake, whatever it is, like the Shake out, like this is the thing. You're listening to personal development, but the things you're doing every single day are probably the same things you're doing a month ago. Like you invited 100 people, but maybe the way you invited needs to change. Maybe your follow-ups need to change. Maybe you're listening to the wrong personal development.
Right. I mean, I'm going to be totally honest, you guys. This is like, no, everyone says it's not sales, it's sharing. It is totally sales, you guys. Like we're helping people. We can help people for free, but we need to sell challenge packs and we need to sell the idea of coaching to other people. So we could all benefit. I feel like I have a sales background and I still struggle, but I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with sales. Like, I feel like it's such a dirty word. It doesn't have to be. It's like exchange of value. And so I think like it is a pipeline. It is numbers. There's so much. I mean, it's so much of what I did in my other sales jobs. It's just a different format. It's a relationship marketing, but it's not a dirty word. And I think there's so many great sales books. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like, does anyone else read personal development with like sales books? I don't know.
Rachel, I'm just going to,
yeah.
I don't, but I'm going to speak to the fact of my like page sucks as well. I get zero interaction. I used to get,
but why?
Oh, I'm going to tell you why. Zero interaction. I used to get more than I have gotten. I started the Jesse Regan training. I stopped. I was like, I don't have time for this. I stopped. So I haven't grown myself as far as my like page. All of my Success Club points, all 19 of them from this past month have come from my regular page. Yeah. And I don't ever take pictures of Shakeology. I don't remember the last time I have ever, or a long time. And I learned to take everything that I feel and sharing my journey, my struggles, my triumphs, my crazy life with my kids, like everything about me. And I share all of it. I just vomit it. And, in the ways that I feel, could reach other people. And those are the people that I'm attracting. So you are a mom, you are, somebody you work from home mom, you do your stuff with your daughter, do you have struggles when you work out, like getting to work out, nutrition, like what are those struggles? Like share those, like that's what you're doing. You don't have to sell anything if you share correctly. I believe that. And I was in sales too for a while. I used to sell memberships at a gym, believe it or not.
Right. But people could tell me all the time, like your posts are so inspirational, that really spoke to me, but they don't become challengers or for whatever reason.
That's just building relationships with them and fostering those relationships over time. You can't have the expectation that they're going to buy from you quick. It's not going to work like that. And like Cherie said to you, everything is on a delay. Like everything you do every day, you're planting seeds. And those seeds need time to grow, So everything you do every day, don't discount and think that it's not working, because it most likely is. And there may be people who might come to you in a year from now and say, go ahead, Michelle, and say, I've been following you for a year and I think I want to join you now. And I've had that happen to me. People have reached out to me a year and a half.
Me too.
Okay, like that long of you having to be consistent sharing everything before they finally took the plunge. It's not immediate. And, it's great that you have people reaching out to you, but I'll tell you, we don't have a lot of people reaching out to us. We have to put the work in. Like we have to reach out to them and them say, oh, well, yeah, I follow you. Yeah, maybe next month. Or it takes a lot of coercion, and just building that relationship and letting them know, you know, maybe you're not ready to join me now, but like, I'm here in the meantime. Like, let's check in every month. And every month you're checking in with that person. How you doing? Like, not anticipating a sale.
Right. But just building. Yeah. And I feel like I do know how to do that. And I have a good relationship with like people in my network, wherever we are, whether they're a good friend who feels comfortable referring her sister-in-law to me, who just bought from me immediately. There was like not even, she was just like, yeah, I want, you know, like I still found out her why. But it was very quick. She bought like much sooner than I anticipated. But I just feel like, I don't know, in 2.5 years, I expected to be farther along. And it's sort of like almost like an embarrassment to me that my husband, like, that I kept telling him, I'm going to be able to, like, at some point, not retire you, but I'm going to be able to show that I can make a full-time income working from home. And it's been 2.5 years and I'm like not even close. So I just feel like I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, like what else can I do? Because I've done the inviting, I've done being the product, I run great challenge groups. Like I want like 10 times growth. And I read the book and I did AMP and I have the Who Knows a Guy Fitness website, which actually is a helpful tool and a good investment, but I want to ramp up. And I just feel like I have my foot on the gas and it's just like not going. And it's frustrating to me. So maybe I do need more personal development or more invitations.
Rachel, but can I say something right now?
Yes.
You're saying a lot of all the things you're doing that's right. I'm going to call it as it is. I haven't heard you tell me where you're doing wrong.
Well,
because everything I do, I read the person out. I'm not knocking this. I listen an hour a day. I'm in the challenge groups. I spoke to 100 people. That's great, but I'm going to be honest. If you're in the same place, it's you and it's not working. So I want to hear 3 points.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, like, honestly, maybe this isn't the right thing for me. Like, I don't know. I still don't know. I don't know that it should be this much of a struggle. Like, I think I shouldn't be racking my brain after 2.5 years. I feel like there should be more of a flow and more of a, okay, I've got this. I'm good at this. And it's,
we don't even feel like that.
We don't
even feel like that, Rach.
We don't feel like
we don't
that.
Feel like
no,
that.
Not at all. But you have to be able to self-assess yourself. And if everything you're saying, I'm doing all this and I expect more, and you can't put down 10 things that you're not able to improve on, well, there's the problem. It's you and not you. I'll tell that to everybody on here. Like, if you can't say that I need to improve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, then that's the problem, because you think, now I'm saying everybody, then you think, oh, I'm perfect and it's great. But
no, I don't think I'm perfect, but like,
no, I'm not saying to you, but I'm saying you have to self-assess, because if you are where you are because that's where you deserve to be, it's fact. It's fact. And some of these words are harsh for me to say. Like, I hate saying it, but I'm going to call it as it is. If you are in the same place, you are where you deserve to be, and you have to self-assess and see what you need to be doing different. Because it doesn't matter about you maybe doing more. You may have it down with the time, and you may have the drive and the work ethic. It sounds like that's there, but you need to change. You need to improve.
Yeah, I mean, like, my leadership, but at the same time, like does a leader inspire non-working coaches to become working coaches? Like, I haven't found that magic for me.
You need to be better at attracting people that want to be working coaches. So your law of attraction that you have 100% control of, maybe that's where you need to self-assess. Say, you know what? I need to be better at attracting people. Well, how do I become better at attracting people? You know, maybe you need to invest in books that, like Content Inc., of getting away from white noise. Whatever it is, the point I'm trying to say is,
I'm listening.
Self-assess.
Yes.
Rachel, I know. Yes. I can help you pinpoint this right now, because you said you don't know who your avatar is. Like, you're lost. You don't know who you are. And I feel like I was at a point too where because I was a teacher, and then I left my teaching job, and then I was home and I was working from home. I'm like, who the hell am I? I don't know who I am. I'm a teacher who left my job, who now is at home. And it took me a while to kind of pinpoint who I was. And when I went to leadership, it was very clear. I think I told Kelly. And I came back and I said, I identified so much with Katie Ersta and Tara Bilak. And then I saw other coaches like Julie Voris and, like, you know, the top coaches, Melanie Mitro, and they're so well put together. They always have beautiful makeup on. They have beautiful clothes. They wear stilettos. And I'm like, that is not me. It's Katie Ersta in her sweatpants and her Nikes. Like, Tara Bilak, a hot mess mom. Like, that's me. And once I figured that out, I became very focused on sharing that and attracting that. So right now you said you don't know who you are. And I think that's the key, is to figure that out first. Because if you don't know who you are, you're just like a ship without a sail, you're right? You're just like,
I know who I am, and that I know what interests me and what I like. Like, I love books. I live in this small community by the sea. Like, I love where I live. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like I have like, I don't know. I just don't feel like I have like that one sticky thing, that like makes you super attractive to the masses. Like, like some people have that, and it's just like, whether it's shiny and sparkly or a huge struggle that other people identify with. It just
Can I just interject for 1 second? I don't think that it has to be one particular thing. I think you just being authentically you, your ups and your downs. It's not that you have to pinpoint one particular piece of you. It's just the authenticity of being you and throwing yourself out there when a lot of people out in the world aren't brave enough to do that. And people are reading your posts and your journey, let's say, on, dealing with the loss of your father, for example. I mean, that's huge. And, you might be touching people that are watching you and listening to, today I woke up and had a really crappy day, and I cried a lot, and the only thing that I could do workout wise was a yoga workout, but I pushed play. However you want to portray yourself, but show that vulnerability, and it can just be all encompassing. It doesn't have to just be one piece of you. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I do, and I think and my friends who know me, and they would be able to describe me probably better than I can describe myself, because I just know what interests me. And
then ask your friends to describe you in descriptive words, and use those words to help drive you. And don't stop following other coaches.
There's a lot of comparison, and I do it too. I really have to say, there's people who I gravitate towards where I'm like, God, they just have this knack for it. And I'm telling you, like, posting is very strategic with a lot. It's a skill. And it's a skill that I think we're all continuing to develop. And, it's something that's hard. But, one of the things that I did probably about a year ago that was very helpful was I made a list of all of the things. Actually, no, not all of the things. I took 5 things that were most important to me. And then what I did, while I was kind of practicing varying my posts, is, I would rotate through each of those 5 things. So if I posted 3 times a day, I would rotate through, like, okay, so family is important to me. Being a cancer survivor is important to me. Obviously, my health and fitness and working out is important to me. I like to home decorate. That's important to me. Obviously, being a mom is important to me. So what I would do is I physically wrote down A, B, C, D, E, and then I would rotate through the posts until I got a better feel for it, and I started to become more comfortable. And then I just started, kind of just...
And then you become whole. Like,
yes.
It kind of gives the big picture of who you are, all the pieces of you.
Right.
It doesn't have to be like Kelly said, one particular thing to brand yourself. Like, you are a lot of things. So you need to figure out who that is, because I think once you pinpoint that, you're going to start nailing your posts. And then you need to figure out how to increase your like page so you can start grabbing more strangers and have more conversations.
I know, because it's true.
Lilac the other day, and she's like, I'm a hot mess, da 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 da.
You ready for this, though?
But on Mondays, she does Monday Madness. She's talking to 30 to 40 people every Monday. And then new people.
But just relationship forming, not inviting.
No. So she takes the entire week to build relationships with them. She's like, some people are quicker than others, when I want to invite them. But Fridays are follow-ups from the people in the past week. And then the following week, she's starting to invite those people that she started the mass conversations with. So one day a week, she's doing mass building.
Mass forming.
With her cold market.
Have
With
30 to 40 people a week. That's 120. Yeah.
This is where I feel we can all benefit from it. You know, when I talk about me, you know, with time management and just being able to juggle everything, like I think systems like that are very important for us to be aware of, because like that's ingenious. And I would never have thought of that.
Well,
you know
Josh
what I mean?
Coates is her coach.
But Kelly, you know what? That you made me. Which is kind of I'll sum up.
I know, because she's surrounding herself with people that are higher than her. So
you're right, but that's the point. Goes back to what I said in the beginning, guys. Improving your performance. So she spends an hour of probably trying to start 30 new conversations, where we spend an hour following up with the same old people, not saying whatever you're doing. So that's what I'm saying, guys. If you want to get to the next level, you have to improve your performance. You have to change what you're doing. When I heard that she has 30 people a week, that's 120 a month. She always has people in the hopper.
And she's in the top
like
50.
Rachel mentioned, I had read 100 people last month, and that's a lot of people. Tara's talking to 120 new people a month consistently.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. There's levels. She's at the 15-star diamond level, but that's what I'm saying. We don't need to be working more hours, guys. You need to be changing what you're doing and increase the way you perform. And how do you know what it is? You got to be growing. You got to get to trainings. You got to be connecting with people to hear things like that. You got to be willing to be humble and send a message to a coach that's more successful than you and try to pick their brains.
She sent me a bunch of voice messages, and she's like, I should be doing this more. She's like, but this is kind of what I do. And, this is what Josh Coates tells me to do. And, I just really got to listen to him. And I do this on Monday, and I do this on Friday. I don't even know if I helped you. Like, she's babbling in this message.
She's amazing. Tara Bielek she's the one who lost her dad when she was on stage at Summit. So I followed her right afterwards, and I felt so similarly. And she was amazing sharing her journey. But I don't want you guys to think I'm like negative Nelly. I feel very positive about very many pieces of this business. It's just, I do hold myself to a high standard. And I did see Julie Voris. She was at the Super Saturday or Super Friday in Boston. And she is very put together. And I hold myself to high standards. But I am going to see Jeff Hill. He's going to be in Boston next week. I think Charisse is going to.
Oh, good. He's coming to New York. Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be in Boston next Thursday night. And then this book, Dave, I don't know if you ever read this, Leadership and Self-Deception. It sounded really intriguing, but it's like a self-assessment kind of book.
Rachel, I think number one, you got to find out who you are.
Yeah.
And just start owning it. And number two is, and I'm going to say the same for myself, is to work on your like page, growing it so you can bring in more blood.
I know.
And really focus on who the hell you are, because you need to rock that. And I think that's your one thing that you said that hit me, that you don't know who you are, and you need to know who you are, or you're just a ship without a sail.
Right.
Ads, guys, I'll be honest. If you're all star diamond rank, and you haven't really took the time to invest in, whether it's Jesse Regan or something, to learn how to run ads, because you're going to run out of your warm market, and most of you probably have. And there's nothing better than being able to learn that and start conversations with cold people and develop them. It takes time. I mean, that's what Tara's getting. Her 30 new people are people that are liking or commenting on any of her posts on her like page.
They're her ads.
Yeah, from her ads that you learn how to do. And that's, kind of what I'm doing. So that's a skill. You got to invest in yourself. You got to get it.
Do you guys definitely recommend that Jesse Regan training? Phenomenal. Or do you feel like
it's phenomenal? This is the thing, though.
I haven't finished.
90% of the coaches that go in it haven't put in the work. Haven't done it.
It's a lot of work.
It sounds like a lot of work. It's 3 phases or something?
No, it's just like the first phase is branding.
There's modules.
You go through modules, but it's like anything else. You got to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do. That's what it comes down to. So,
But you think...
What?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was going to say, you think he teaches a deeper sense of what to do with the ads versus like Ask Gary Vee, where he talks about faith? Because I know Gary Vee talks a lot about it as well, but it's like you think that Jesse Regan gives more of like...
Well, I know this. Gary Vee, I follow him all the time too. He's the one that's saying you need to be doing stuff to have an ROI on your business.
Right.
So you need to be investing in yourself. So learning Facebook ads and how to do it is something that's going to give you a high ORI.
Yeah.
So you know what? A lot of times Gary's things about executing, increasing your skills. And you know what? I'm still getting the hang of it, but I'm pretty impressed with Jesse Regan and what's coming of it right now. Just in the last week, of what I did on a dark post ad that I'm running right now, targeting men that like certain fitness pages that are affiliated with lower level men's health. I just how he breaks it down, how I'm targeting and what I'm doing and generating. In the last week, I'm talking to like 4 dudes right now in the last 5 days.
Dudes,
it was
yay.
like for $3 a day.
We got to wrap up.
So I'll wrap up. But the point is, guys, you got to increase your skills. You got to invest in you. You got to change what you're doing. You got to self-assess and see where you're failing. Otherwise, we'll be having the same call December 2017, and we'll be saying the same shit.
We're not saying the same shit this time next year. We're not.
So
that's it, Rachel. You got to figure out
Thank
who
you.
you are. Number one.
Thank you, guys.
So, guys, let's just wrap it up. I think everybody spoke. We're not going to have Deirdre spoke. She's a brand new diamond, so we're not going to put her on the spot.
Thank you for joining us, Deirdre.
Thank
It's
you for
usually
joining.
not this long.
Yeah, it's usually not this long. This was like an annual call just to gauge. But, guys, have a great night. And, we may be moving the diamond calls, just so you guys know, to like once a month. It is so.
So hopefully we can get all the diamonds on.
Right. So we can get everybody on.
That
So,
would be
guys, I'm going to post a recording and have a great night. Love all you guys. Talk to you soon.
Good night, guys.
Bye.